another breaking story for you guys I have to report as soon as possible. And here's what the New York Times says here. It's supposed to be like a bombshell article. It says, Kushner and Flynn met with Russian envoy in December, White House says. So Jared Kushner is the, I believe, son-in-law of Donald Trump, the husband of Ivanka Trump. So Michael Flynn had a meeting with the Russian ambassador that ended up making him resign. So public outcry, fellas, works. So you go on Twitter, you go Facebook, wherever, just get pissed, okay? Complain, bitch, everything. It works. So, here's what the New York Times says. They say, Michael T. Flynn, then Donald J. Trump's incoming national security advisor, had a previously undisclosed meeting with the Russian ambassador in December to establish a line of communication between the new administration and the Russian government, the White House said on Thursday. Jared Kushner, Mr. Trump's son-in-law, and now a senior advisor, also participated in the meeting at Trump Tower with Mr. Flynn and Sergey I. Kislyak, the Russian ambassador. But among Mr. Trump's inner circle, it is Mr. Flynn who appears to have been the main interlocutor with the Russian envoy. The two were in contact during the campaign and the transition, Mr. Kislyak and current and former American officials have said. But the extent and frequency of their contacts remains unclear, and the disclosure of the meeting at Trump Tower adds to the emerging picture of how the relationship between Mr. Trump's incoming team and Moscow was evolving to include some of the president-elect's most trusted advisors. The White House has repeatedly sought to play down any connections with Mr. Kislyak. Attorney General Jeff Sessions acknowledged this week that he had met twice with him during the campaign despite previous denials. The New Yorker reported this week that Mr. Kushner had met with Mr. Kislyak at Trump Tower in December. Hope Hicks, a White House spokeswoman, confirmed on Thursday that Mr. Flynn was also at the meeting in response to questions from a New York Times reporter. It is common and not improper for transition officials to meet with foreign officials. But all meetings between Trump associates and Russians are now significant as the FBI investigates Russian interference in the American election and whether anyone close to Mr. Trump's campaign was involved. So this is always an interesting topic of conversation. I don't really know if there's a massive significance of the situation, but to the public and to the media and all of that, it's going to be huge because people have this kind of Russian hysteria, which I don't fall into that much, but, knowing all this information is quite interesting. Because I don't think that the Obama administration was meeting with Kislyak every day, and if I'm wrong, please link me with some evidence of that and some analysis of that in the comment section. I'd love to see it. But do I think the Russians hacked the election? No. Is it interesting and maybe a bit awkward that they were in contact with the Trump campaign? A little, but I want to know what you guys think about it. So Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of Donald Trump, was also having a meeting with Mr. Kislyak, Sergey Kislyak, with Michael Flynn.